I just went to the bathroom for 2 minutes.
I know. Posted a video online.
Stupid Lisa, stupid Lisa, stupid Lisa.
Here comes Fluid and
Hey guys, so today in this video, I will be talking about why the Bratz dolls will always be so iconic. So starting from the beginning, these dolls were created in 2001 by MGA Entertainment. And when they came out, they really just pretty much offered a very fresh take on toy dolls and separated themselves from their predecessor Barbie. And as you guys know, when Barbie came out, she was white. She had blonde hair, she had blue eyes, and at the time that just didn't represent a lot of society. So obviously when these dolls came out, they kind of made waves because they did look different and they had such a distinct look. You have the cat eye, you have the big head. But anyways, going into their fashion style, they pretty much resembled that of, I guess, streetwear hip hop fashion at the time. So, I guess it was just more current styles or more realistic to what girls would be wearing in 2001 because they did come out in 2001. And then going on to the diversity of the lineup of the girls, they had a lot of different ethnicities, and to go into more specifics, you have Chloe, who I guess kind of looked like, I don't want to say look like Barbie, but she did have blonde hair, she did have blue eyes, so she was like the white girl of the group. And then you have Sasha, who is the black girl of the group, you have Jasmine, who's Middle Eastern heritage, and then you have Jade, who is Asian heritage. So as you can see, like already from the lineup, they have so many different ethnicities and so many, I guess different cultures that they also made significant in the movies and TV shows as well. And also, going kind of back to their look in general, they had much of different overall look from Barbie. When you think of Barbie, you're thinking of, I guess, kind of like the traditional clothing, maybe. You're thinking of a straight up and down girl with not many curves at all. But when these dolls came out, they had curves. They looked like women, more like women in a sense, and more like girls today. And they also wore, in my opinion now, y'all, much heavier makeup than Barbie ever did. Okay. Okay. And the hair as well. And when I talk about the look, I already did mention you have the big head, you have the big cat eyes. It's just like everything kind of like mixed together to create the brats. And that's how they have their such like distinct and iconic look. And when we talk about what these dolls wanted to aspire to be and what their goals were in life, they had their own visions and identities for success in their own lives and what their ideas of success looked like. So you have Chloe, who is a very, very sporty girl. You have Sasha, who's a music editor and leader. You have Jade, who wants to be a fashion designer. And then you also have Jasmine, who is a talented writer and aspiring pop star. So I would say that these careers were much more, I guess, realistic than Barbie, because you could see Barbie, she was in medicine, she was a lawyer, and that just feels like it's not really realistic, I guess. I mean, it is in some sense, but not all girls want to be doctors when they grow up. Not all girls want to be lawyers. And while those careers are fine to have, I'm not saying that they're bad to have. I'm just saying the Bratz dolls, I would say, had much more modern careers, just in general, of what some people just in general want to do more, because not everyone wants to go to college for so many years and be a doctor. And that's completely fine. And I feel like the Bratz dolls made it especially fine or better for girls to know that you don't have to aspire to be one of the greatest in the world, or you don't have to aspire to be this great, famous lawyer or amazing, fantastic doctor. You could just be a regular girl, and you could just be able to succeed on your own and have a career that you want, not that you feel like others want for you know? And even though Barbie did eventually have multiple careers and jobs, hence doctor and lawyer, the Bratz dolls, I would say, were a much more realistic portrayal of girls in the real world. So that's pretty much the point that I was talking about before about like have the career that you really want, not that you feel like other people expect of you or want from you. And in fact, in later years, the franchise itself got so popular that they even started releasing movies, TV show episodes, and video games about the Bratz dolls under MJ Entertainment. And must I say, that these movies and TV shows, oh my gosh, they were my absolute fave. I mean, from Genie Magic to Rock Angels, absolutely perfect. Perfect, perfect. And while obviously watching back, it's like I'd say it's more of a nostalgia when I watch it back, you know? But I just love them so much, and I've watched them all multiple times, which I know is very, very, very excessive, but that's just how good they are to me and how good they were to me as well. And the Bratz line in general, it just gave young girls of all backgrounds representation and equality, and girls of all ethnicities, or many ethnicities, I should say, were able to relate to at least one doll. You know, and able to say, you know, hey, that doll looks like me, or she looks like me, or she looks like me. And in turn, that pretty much makes them like the whole line. You know, it makes them want to know more about that doll. It makes them want to be open to other new dolls, you know? And you have to give it to MGA. I mean, right out the gate, they came out with a Bratz line that was already so diverse. You know, Barbie, I'm not, you know, it took a while, I have to say. It took like it was like 20 years before they came out with a black Barbie in 1980, and Barbie was released officially in 1959. And you know, I just think it's really important that you know they really came out the gate like with all this diversity and all this representation, and it's like they're only making it better and better to this day, you know? And although Barbie did eventually release many different races, the iconic and original doll is still considered to be white because that was what was first released. And unfortunately, many girls cannot relate to being white, especially, you know, a lot of their fan base, you know, children just in general. You know, you have black girls, you have Hispanic girls, you have Asian girls, and they're not all going to be able to relate to a white Barbie. And white Barbie is considered to be the most iconic, and you know, because it is the original Barbie, so it is considered to be the most iconic Barbie. And it's just important for me, especially and just in general, I think in general, for a young girl to say that her favorite toy looks like her instead of relying on a doll that is not a correct representation of who she is from inside and out, you know? And obviously, y'all, please, I'm not trying to bash Barbie as a line or as a doll, but I am just pointing out the realities and the truth of only having a doll that is one race for so many years before implementing, you know, one of color. So when we go on to the movies and TV shows, I'm not going to stay on here for too long, but they did portray the girls as realistic while also having flaws. I mean, they were really truly teen girls. You know, many of them had relatable boy trouble, sleepovers, fun times at amusement parks, and funny moments in high school. And what's so crazy is that when I watch like some of the TV show episodes back now, it's like I'm actually laughing at some of the jokes that they crack in the shows or in the movies, which is so insane to me, but it's like that's how real and raw it was because you know those are things I would talk about with my girlfriends, with my closest friends, and it's just so funny because it's almost like it's being reenacted, but it's just that these dolls are doing it, and they made the dolls feel like people instead of just playthings, you know? And, you know, they had normal flaws and fights as girl best friends oftentimes do, you know. They made it seem like, you know, fights are natural. They happen. When you have a group of girls who, you know, are all like really strong-minded and really confident, you're gonna butt heads, and that's completely natural. Or just in general with friends and with girls, you know, you're really close with, you're gonna butt heads, and that's totally okay. And I like how they talked about that a lot, that hey, it's okay that we fight, but it's just important to see each other's, you know, side of the equation, I guess, to make sure everyone feels heard. And, you know, regardless of, you know, all the fights and disagreements that they sometimes had, I really like how the shows and the movies emphasize that the importance of female friendships and camaraderie amongst each other. You know, because at the end of the day, they all want to achieve something greater. They all want to aspire to be, in their careers and jobs, and they all have such big aspirations. And it's important, you know, not to fight over stupid, you know, small things that could tear the friendship apart. And I just like how the shows and just media in general emphasize that idea that, you know, we're in this together pretty much. You know, we all want to, you know, achieve something no matter how different that is and how much we disagree. You know, we're all kind of here to support each other and we have to stick together, you know, and I really like that aspect of just pretty much the whole line in general. So yeah. So in conclusion, guys, I'd say the Bratz dolls were very, very essential to young girls growing up. And no, I'm not saying that if you're a young girl growing up and did not experience Bratz dolls, I'm not saying that you somehow missed out on your childhood. I am not saying that at all. But I am saying that for the girls that did grow up with young with Bratz dolls, that their childhood benefited from that. But I will say that the line just put tremendous effort on making sure that young girls, no matter their backgrounds, were represented and that different, cultures and ethnicities were different. And while they can't, get a perfect score right out the gate, at least you can acknowledge that they're still trying to this day. And Barbie's still trying to this day. I'm not trying to make this about, Barbie not trying to this day, but it's just that from the beginning, from right out the gate, it was there. And I really appreciate that. Um, and the Bratz dolls were also various, aspiring young women who had goals to each of their own, like I say, with careers and jobs, they still had aspirations. They still had things that they wanted to achieve and do. And overall, it just allowed girls, young girls especially, to be able to see themselves in the dolls that they love so dearly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Achoo! I think I just had an out of the blue arterial explosion.